The Senate is working to better protect consumers from identity theft in two ways. The first is a security freeze. This legislation, which was just approved by the Senate Judiciary Committee, will help consumers prevent identity theft. It will allow consumers to request that credit agencies put a freeze on their credit information. Making this request will only cost $10 and will be free for victims of identity theft. The freeze will stay in place until the consumer asks for it to be lifted. Presently, there are 39 other states that have similar legislation. The second way the Senate is moving to protect consumers is through security breach legislation. This legislation, which will be taken up by the Senate Commerce Committee next week, will require that companies that hold personal financial information, such as credit card information, tighten access to that information. It will also outline who this information can be shared with and increases the accountability that businesses have for maintaining security of this information. There have been instances in the state where people have had their identities stolen because of this breach and the lack of security. What this legislation will cover is retailers, chain restaurants, gas station and convenience stores, and those other businesses that are not already covered by federal legislation, particularly financial institutions. It will also outline who this information can be shared with and increases the accountability that businesses have for maintaining the security of this information. The fact is, for a number of years, no progress was ever made. For a number of years, this institution, before we took control, completely ignored the issue. We're taking serious strides to try to find ways to protect consumers. What the benefit is, it allows consumers, it empowers consumers to help protect access to their personal financial information. The various credit agencies have that information, and anyone, essentially anyone right now, can seek access to that information, and those credit bureaus will end up providing that information. What the security freeze allows is for a consumer to say, I don't want people asking about my credit, I don't have a need for additional credit, I don't want people asking about it, and in essence it puts a firewall so that unauthorized entities do not obtain that information. Therefore, you help prevent identity theft. Any citizen, any person can ask for it. Okay, this is modeled on what the other states have done. If you are a victim of identity theft, you can make that application and there's no charge. Okay, if you are a citizen who just wants to prevent anyone else from having access to that credit, you can make that application, send in $10, and that's all there is to it. Access to your account is frozen until you, the consumer, decide it gets lifted. There's 3 credit reporting agencies that take that fee. Make one application, one check, applies everywhere.